Welcome, my dear friend. I'm Zanashi, here to guide you through the beautiful process of healing and growth. Today, we are diving deep into something that can truly set us free: the art of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not just about letting someone else off the hook. It's about giving yourself the peace and freedom you deserve. We often carry the weight of past hurts and hold on to them, thinking that we are protecting ourselves. But in reality, all we're doing is chaining ourselves to the past. Forgiveness allows us to break free from those chains. It's a choice to release the anger, the hurt, the resentment, and to step forward with a heart that is light and free. It's not always easy, and it's not always quick, but it is always worth it. When we forgive, we stop letting the past control us, and we start allowing space for new growth, for new joy, for new possibilities. But it's not just about forgiving others. Sometimes it's about forgiving ourselves, because we too can carry guilt, shame, and regret. We can hold on to mistakes we've made or decisions we wish we could undo. But, my friend, remember this: we are all human, and we are all deserving of grace. Now, let's explore how to truly forgive, let go, and move on. How to release what no longer serves us, and create a future that is free from the past. Take a moment to breathe in deeply, and let's begin this journey together. Let's dive deeper into this journey step by step, and explore the power of forgiveness, letting go, and moving on. Forgiveness is not simply a one-time event. It's a process, a shift in the way we view ourselves, others, and the world around us. It's about changing our mindset, shifting from holding on to something that hurts us to releasing it, and embracing peace. At the heart of forgiveness lies the understanding that we are not doing it for others, we are doing it for ourselves. We free ourselves when we let go of the negative emotions and memories that keep us stuck. They weigh us down, keeping us in the past. But once we choose to forgive, we are choosing freedom. The first step in this process is acknowledging the pain we've experienced. It's so important to give ourselves permission to feel. Whether it's the pain of a broken relationship, the sting of betrayal, or the disappointment of unmet expectations. Allow yourself to feel what you need to feel. Don't suppress it. Don't hide from it. Acknowledge it. Let it surface. And in that acknowledgement, begin to understand that these emotions, as painful as they are, do not define us. We are not our pain. We are not the mistakes we've made. And we are not the actions of others toward us. Once we acknowledge the pain, the next step is to reframe our perspective. Instead of seeing the situation as something that happened to us, try to see it as something that happened for us. I know, it may sound hard, but hear me out. Every experience, every challenge, every painful moment has something to teach us. It's an opportunity for growth, an invitation to understand ourselves and others better. Even the most painful moments can carry lessons that will shape us into stronger, wiser, more compassionate individuals. Forgiving someone, or even forgiving ourselves, doesn't mean we forget the pain or the wrongdoing. It simply means we are no longer willing to carry the burden of that hurt any longer. We are not excusing the behavior, nor are we saying it didn't matter. We are just choosing to release the grip it has on us. Letting go is an act of self-love. It's a conscious decision to no longer let the past dictate our future. We have the power to move forward, to create a life filled with love, joy, and peace. But first, we must clear the space within us. We must let go of the old to make room for the new. And when we truly forgive, we free ourselves from the cycle of anger, resentment, and bitterness. We open ourselves up to healing, to growth, to the new opportunities that life has waiting for us. Moving on is not about forgetting, it's about accepting that the past has shaped us, but it does not define us. Accepting that while we cannot change what happened, we can control how we move forward. We can decide how we let it affect us. So, how do we start moving on? The first step is letting go of the need for closure. Sometimes closure will never come the way we want it. Sometimes the answers we seek may never be given to us, but that doesn't mean we can't move on. It doesn't mean we can't choose to let go and step forward with grace. You see, moving on is a choice. It's a conscious decision to release the past. It's not about erasing the memories, but about no longer letting those memories control us. It's about choosing to write the next chapter of our life, free from the chains of the past. As we begin to move on, we must also remember to be kind to ourselves. Healing takes time. It's not something that happens overnight. We may stumble, we may fall, but that's okay. What matters is that we continue to rise, continue to move forward, with compassion for ourselves, with grace. And as we heal, as we let go of the things that no longer serve us, we start to make space for the things that will bring us joy, peace, and fulfillment. When we forgive, we create room in our hearts for love, for new experiences, for the beauty that life has to offer. Forgiving, letting go, and moving on are not easy tasks, but they are some of the most powerful things we can do for ourselves. They are acts of courage, strength, and resilience. And as we move through this process, we begin to transform. We become stronger, wiser, more compassionate versions of ourselves. As we close this chapter of our journey, remember that forgiveness is not a destination, but a journey. It's a lifelong process of growth, healing, and letting go. So, take it one step at a time. Be gentle with yourself, and know that with each step you take, you are closer to the peace and freedom that you deserve. Let's keep moving forward. The power of forgiveness, of truly letting go and moving on, lies in the transformation it sparks within us. It's easy to think that holding on to anger, pain, or resentment gives us control, but in reality, it only keeps us shackled to the past. Those emotions we carry, those memories we cling to, are like weights, weighing us down, limiting our growth. But when we forgive, when we let go, we unlock the door to freedom. Forgiveness is not something we do because the other person necessarily deserves it. It's something we do because we deserve peace. We deserve to be free from the emotional prison of resentment and anger. It's about freeing our hearts from the constant burden of bitterness and giving ourselves permission to heal. Forgiving someone doesn't mean condoning their actions or accepting that they were right. It doesn't mean pretending the pain never happened. It means choosing to no longer let that pain define us or control our emotions. When we forgive, we take our power back. We reclaim our peace. Think about this for a moment. What would it feel like to not carry the weight of your past with you anymore? To not let that one person, that one situation, or that one hurt continue to dictate your present and future. It's freeing. It's transformative. But forgiveness doesn't always happen in one moment. Sometimes it's a series of moments, a gradual shift. It's about moving through the process at your own pace, giving yourself the grace and compassion to heal when you're ready. It's okay if forgiveness takes time. Healing isn't a race, and neither is forgiveness. It's important to let yourself feel each emotion as it comes, each tear, each pang of sadness, and each moment of clarity where you realize you're slowly starting to feel lighter. Let those moments come naturally without forcing them. Sometimes we hold on to toxic memories because we believe they define us. Maybe we think, if I forgive, I'll forget who I am or what I went through. But that's not the case. Letting go of the negative emotions doesn't mean erasing the lesson. The lessons we learn through hardship shape us, make us stronger, wiser, more resilient. And those lessons stay with us even after the pain fades. So, how do we make room for that healing? How do we create space in our hearts and minds for peace, love, and joy to enter? It starts with being honest with ourselves. We have to ask ourselves, what am I holding on to, and why? Sometimes we cling to our pain because we don't know what life will look like without it. We're afraid that if we let go, we'll lose a part of ourselves. But the truth is, by holding on, we're preventing ourselves from experiencing all the good that's waiting for us. Letting go is about trust. It's about trusting ourselves, trusting the process of healing, and trusting that life will unfold in ways we cannot yet see. When we trust that we are worthy of peace and happiness, we make room for them to flow into our lives. And here's the thing. Once we start to forgive, we begin to realize that we don't need to hold on to pain to keep ourselves safe. We can let go of the hurt and still protect ourselves. We can release the anger and still set boundaries that honor our needs and our well-being. Forgiveness isn't about being passive or letting others take advantage of us. It's about releasing the toxic grip that the past has on us and stepping into a space of self-empowerment. Forgiving, letting go, and moving on also doesn't mean we won't face new challenges or pain in the future. Life isn't always smooth, and things may not always go as we plan. But what we gain through the process of forgiveness is resilience. We build the emotional strength to face whatever comes our way with grace, knowing that we've already faced and conquered some of the hardest battles. And each time we let go, we get better at it. We get stronger, more compassionate with ourselves, and more capable of navigating life's challenges with love rather than fear or bitterness. When we forgive, we free ourselves from the past. We allow ourselves to heal, to grow, to love again in a healthy, vibrant way. And as we let go of the things that no longer serve us, we create space for the things we truly want, the things that will nurture us and help us thrive. As you continue on this journey of forgiveness, remember to be kind to yourself. You've been through a lot, and healing takes time. It's okay if you're not there yet. It's okay if you're still processing. What matters is that you're moving forward, slowly but surely, one step at a time. In the end, forgiveness, letting go, and moving on are all about finding peace within ourselves. They are acts of love towards ourselves, acts of self-compassion. We're not doing it for anyone else. We're doing it because we deserve to be free. We deserve to have a heart filled with peace, with love, with hope for what's yet to come. So, remember this. Every step you take towards forgiveness is a step towards healing, towards wholeness, towards a brighter future. It may be hard at times, but trust that every moment of discomfort brings you closer to the life you deserve. You are worthy of peace. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of all the good things that life has to offer. And as you continue your journey, know that with each day you are getting closer to a place of inner peace and emotional freedom. When we talk about forgiveness, letting go, and moving on, we're really talking about a process of self-liberation. Each of us holds onto something, whether it's an old hurt, betrayal, or an unresolved past. And for many, it's the fear of being vulnerable again that keeps us stuck in that cycle. What we often don't realize is that the very act of forgiving isn't just for the person who hurt us, it's for us too. It's about releasing the grip that the past has on our future, so that we can walk forward with lightness and clarity. In fact, some of us may even find comfort in holding on to grudges or anger. It's a strange sense of protection. If we stay angry, if we stay hurt, we believe we're keeping ourselves safe. We convince ourselves that if we don't forgive, we won't be vulnerable to getting hurt again. But what happens when we stay in that place? We carry the weight of the past into every new relationship, into every new interaction, and it colors our world with the bitterness of experiences that no longer serve us. True strength doesn't lie in holding on to pain. It lies in the courage to let it go. It's in the ability to move forward with hope, to believe that we are worthy of new, healthier experiences and relationships. That doesn't mean we forget what happened or erase the lessons we've learned. It means we stop allowing those experiences to control how we see ourselves or the world around us. It's important to remember that forgiveness doesn't happen all at once. It's a layered process. We may forgive one day, only to find that another layer of pain surfaces the next. That's okay. It's okay to feel sad, to cry, to be angry. The process of letting go isn't about repressing those feelings. It's about acknowledging them, processing them, and choosing not to let them define us. It's about making peace with the fact that we're allowed to feel the depth of our pain, but we're also allowed to heal from it at our own pace. Many people often struggle with forgiving because they feel that they are somehow condoning the wrong that was done to them. But forgiveness isn't about accusing someone else's behavior. It's about giving ourselves the grace to heal. It's about breaking free from the chains that hold us back and allowing ourselves to experience life, love, and joy without the burden of past mistakes weighing us down. Forgiving doesn't mean you have to forget. It doesn't mean you have to invite that person back into your life or allow them to hurt you again. What it means is that you're making the conscious decision to let go of the anger, resentment, and pain that keeps you from moving forward. You're choosing to live your life without being defined by what others did to you. You're choosing to reclaim your emotional well-being. Sometimes the hardest part of forgiving is forgiving ourselves. Often, we carry guilt, shame, or self-blame, thinking that we allowed the situation to happen, that we could have done something differently. But self-forgiveness is just as important as forgiving others. We need to acknowledge that we did the best we could with what we knew at the time. And now, we have the wisdom to make healthier choices moving forward. And as we forgive ourselves, we also open up the ability to trust ourselves again. We begin to believe in our capacity to make better decisions, to protect ourselves, and to move forward with stronger boundaries. This trust in ourselves is a critical part of healing. It allows us to step into the future without the fear that we'll repeat past mistakes. It helps us create healthier relationships, both with ourselves and others. It's also important to remember that forgiveness doesn't always mean reconciling. In fact, forgiveness can sometimes mean creating distance between ourselves and those who have hurt us. Not because we're still angry, but because we recognize that the relationship no longer serves us. Sometimes, the most loving thing we can do for ourselves is to let go of toxic connections, even if they're rooted in the past. As you move forward, it's crucial to focus on the beauty of the present moment. We often get stuck in the past, replaying the mistakes, the regrets, and the what-ifs. But the truth is, we cannot change the past. We can't go back and rewrite the story. What we have control over is the here and now, the choices we make today, the actions we take today. And each step you take towards forgiveness, each moment you spend in healing, is an act of self-love. When you forgive and let go, you are making space for new beginnings, new relationships, and new opportunities. Life has a way of bringing us exactly what we need when we release the things that no longer serve us. And in that release, we open ourselves to the possibility of experiencing love in its truest, healthiest form. Forgiveness is not about excusing the wrongs done to us. It's about freeing ourselves. Freeing ourselves from the pain, the anger, and the emotional burdens that weigh us down. And with that freedom, we step into a future filled with hope, with peace, and with the possibility of creating a life that is authentically ours. We let go of what no longer serves us, so we can embrace the life we are meant to live. As we delve deeper into the process of forgiveness and letting go, it's essential to understand that this is not a linear path. The emotions tied to past experiences can ebb and flow, sometimes appearing out of nowhere when we least expect it. This is perfectly normal. The journey of healing is not about a quick fix or a magic solution. It's about learning how to navigate the complexities of our emotions with patience, compassion, and self-awareness. When we are caught in the cycle of hurt, it can be hard to see the end of the tunnel. But every time we choose forgiveness, even if it feels small or insignificant in the moment, we are making progress. Each time we decide to let go of the past, to release a grudge or a lingering resentment, we are taking another step toward healing. And though the process may feel slow, the results compound over time. Slowly, you will notice that you are carrying less of that heavy emotional weight. You will begin to feel lighter, more free. One of the most beautiful realizations on this journey is that as we forgive others, we often start to forgive ourselves. We realize that we too have made mistakes and that it's okay to be imperfect. We learn to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we offer to others. This self-compassion is the foundation upon which lasting healing is built. Without it, we are left stuck in a cycle of self-blame and guilt, which only perpetuates the hurt. Moving on is also about recognizing that we deserve to experience peace and joy, regardless of what has happened in the past. We may have carried the pain for so long that it becomes a part of our identity. But when we choose to forgive, we are telling ourselves that we are worthy of more than this. We are worthy of healing. We are worthy of happiness. And we are worthy of experiencing love in its truest, purest form. Forgiveness is a gift we give ourselves, not the other person. It's a declaration that we are no longer willing to let the actions of others control our emotions, our actions, or our future. We take our power back. We stop living in the shadows of past wounds and start to step into the light of our own potential. But as we move forward, it's important to remind ourselves that forgiveness does not mean we forget. It doesn't mean we ignore the lessons learned from our experiences. Instead, it's about integrating those lessons into our lives, growing from them, and using them to build stronger, healthier boundaries in the future. We must honor the lessons the pain has taught us without allowing them to define us. Letting go also involves releasing expectations. Sometimes, we hold on to forgiveness because we expect the other person to acknowledge their wrongdoing, to apologize, or to change their behavior. But true forgiveness comes when we let go of that need for external validation. We forgive because we choose peace over resentment, because we choose freedom over the chains of anger. This process of releasing is not always easy, and it's not always immediate. There will be moments of doubt, moments where the past tries to pull us back into its grip. But in those moments, it's crucial to remind ourselves of the vision we have for our future, the life we want to live, free from the weight of unresolved emotions. The beauty of forgiveness is that it opens up the possibility of new connections, of new experiences. When we hold on to past pain, we block ourselves from forming healthy, fulfilling relationships in the present. But when we forgive, we create space for new energy to enter our lives. We invite in relationships that are based on mutual respect, trust, and love. And even if those relationships don't come immediately, we trust that by letting go, we are preparing ourselves to attract the right people who will love us in the way we deserve. Forgiving also means that we let go of the idea that we are defined by what happened to us. We are not our past. We are not the mistakes or the pain that others may have caused. We are the sum of our experiences, yes, but we are not bound by them. When we let go of the past, we create a future where we can live in alignment with who we truly are, rather than being trapped by what has happened. Sometimes we need to forgive not just the people who have hurt us, but also the situations we've found ourselves in. We may need to forgive ourselves for the choices we made, for for the times we stayed too long in unhealthy relationships, or for the ways we allowed ourselves to be treated. We may need to forgive life itself for the hardships and challenges we've faced. But in doing so, we break free from the grip that those experiences have on us. We stop allowing them to dictate our emotional state, our happiness, and our sense of self-worth. As we continue on this path of healing and forgiveness, we will find that we are more resilient than we thought. We will discover that we can love again, trust again, and live fully again. The process of letting go may be difficult, but it is also empowering. It is the process of reclaiming our lives, of taking back our peace, and of stepping into a brighter future. Each day that we choose forgiveness, we are choosing freedom. We are choosing peace. And we are choosing to live a life that is not defined by the hurt of the past, but by the strength, love, and growth we've gained from it. As we continue to explore the transformative power of forgiveness and letting go, it's essential to understand that healing is a process of unburdening yourself from what no longer serves you. When we hold on to resentment, we are unknowingly allowing the past to dictate our present. It's like carrying a heavy weight that only you can feel, an emotional baggage that, though invisible to others, affects every aspect of your life. Forgiveness, at its core, is not about excusing the wrongs or allowing someone to continue hurting you. It's not about letting go of your boundaries or condoning harmful behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional chains that bind you to the pain. It's a conscious decision to release the past and to no longer let it hold power over your life. Sometimes, the hardest part about forgiveness is realizing that you're the one carrying the burden. The person who hurt you might have long moved on, but you're still trapped in the cycle of pain, anger, or sadness. By holding on to those negative emotions, you give that person more control over your life than they deserve. Forgiveness gives you back your power. It restores your ability to choose how you respond to situations, how you view yourself, and how you move forward. But it's important to recognize that forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. Forgiveness doesn't erase the lessons you've learned from the experience. It doesn't mean you ignore the hurt. It simply means you stop letting it control you. You allow yourself to heal, to learn, and to grow without allowing the wounds of the past to keep reopening. Letting go also means accepting the impermanence of life. People come and go, circumstances change, and relationships evolve. The pain you feel today is not permanent, even if it feels overwhelming. Trust that this moment, this pain, will eventually pass. The emotional weight you carry right now is temporary. What's important is how you choose to respond in this moment. You can choose to stay stuck in the hurt, to cling to the memories that bring you pain, or you can choose to release them and open yourself up to new experiences, new possibilities. You are not defined by the mistakes of others or the challenges you've faced. You are defined by how you rise above them. A big part of letting go is learning to trust yourself again. After experiencing hurt, it's natural to feel cautious, to build walls around your heart in an attempt to protect yourself. But trust is a vital part of any healthy relationship. You must trust that you have the strength to handle whatever comes your way. Trust that you are worthy of love, respect, and happiness. Trust that no matter what has happened in the past, you are capable of moving forward with grace and resilience. Moving forward also involves releasing the fantasy of what could have been. It's easy to get stuck in the what ifs, to imagine a future that never materialized, to romanticize a past that's gone. But that fantasy is just a trap, one that keeps you stuck in a cycle of longing for something that can never return. Letting go means accepting that things unfolded the way they did for a reason, even if that reason is not yet clear to you. It's about making peace with what was and focusing on what is and what can be. Another crucial element of forgiveness is learning to forgive yourself. We are often our harshest critics, blaming ourselves for things beyond our control or for things we did while we were in pain. But self-forgiveness is one of the most liberating actions you can take. You have to allow yourself the grace to heal, to learn, and to grow from your past mistakes. You were doing the best you could with the tools and knowledge you had at the time. Now, you have the power to do better, to be better. Self-forgiveness doesn't mean excusing your own actions. It means accepting your imperfections, acknowledging the lessons you've learned, and allowing yourself to move forward with a renewed sense of self-compassion. You can't heal if you're constantly berating yourself for what has already happened. Instead, offer yourself kindness, understanding, and love, just as you would to a friend going through the same journey. When we talk about letting go, it's not just about the big moments of hurt or the major betrayals. It's about letting go of the little things, too. It's about releasing the small disappointments, the unmet expectations, the everyday frustrations. These things accumulate over time, and while they might seem insignificant in the moment, they add weight to your emotional load. It's crucial to practice daily mindfulness, to consciously choose to let go of these small irritations and grievances. Every time you choose peace over petty anger, you are taking another step in your healing process. Forgiving doesn't mean you have to reconcile with the person who hurt you either. Sometimes, the most loving thing you can do for yourself is to walk away from a relationship that is toxic or no longer serving you. You can forgive from a distance without inviting the person back into your life. Reconciliation should always be based on mutual respect and growth, and sometimes that growth doesn't happen at the same pace for both people. If reconciliation is not in the cards, forgiveness still allows you to release the emotional hold the other person has on your life. Another aspect of letting go is accepting that not all relationships are meant to last forever. Sometimes, people come into our lives for a season, a reason, or a lesson. When we try to hold on to something that was never meant to be permanent, we risk losing sight of the beauty and potential that lies ahead. Sometimes, letting go is an act of faith, faith that something better is waiting for you, faith that you will grow and evolve, and that you are deserving of the love and peace you have been searching for. In conclusion, letting go is one of the most courageous, empowering, and liberating things you can do for yourself. It's not an easy process, but it is worth every bit of effort. When you forgive, you free yourself from the emotional prison that has held you hostage. When you let go, you open yourself up to new possibilities, to deeper love, and to the peace you deserve. Moving on is not about forgetting the past, but about embracing the future with an open heart and a mind that is free from the chains of old wounds. You are worthy of healing. You are worthy of peace. And you are worthy of a life filled with love, joy, and connection. You don't have to carry the past with you anymore. You can choose to release it, to forgive, to let go, and to move on. As we continue to explore the profound impact of forgiveness and moving on, let's take a deeper look at what happens when we truly embrace this process. The journey of letting go is not linear, and it's not always easy. There are days when the pain may seem overwhelming, when memories flood back and you feel as though you've taken a step backward. But in those moments, remember that healing is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about showing up every day, even when it feels hard, and choosing to keep moving forward. One of the most powerful things you can do as you move through this journey is to give yourself permission to grieve. Letting go does not mean denying the loss, the hurt, or the disappointment. It's okay to mourn what was. It's okay to acknowledge the pain. When we bottle up emotions or push them aside, they don't go away. They only fester. Grieving allows you to process the emotions that come with loss, whether it's the end of a relationship, the disappointment of unmet expectations, or the sadness of realizing something you hoped for will never be. During this grieving process, be gentle with yourself. Allow the emotions to come and go without judgment. Don't try to rush through the pain, thinking you need to get over it quickly. Give yourself the space and time to feel. As you allow yourself to feel, you begin to release the hold that the past has on you. Grieving helps you acknowledge the loss, but it also helps you honor the love, the lessons, and the growth that came from the experience. Sometimes, the most difficult part of moving on is letting go of the attachment to someone or something that no longer aligns with who you are. Attachments can create emotional entanglements that make it harder to move on. When we are deeply attached to someone or something, we often tie our sense of identity and self-worth to them. We define ourselves by the relationship, by the experiences, or by the hopes and dreams we had tied to that connection. But when that relationship ends, it can feel like a part of you is lost. Letting go of these attachments is an act of reclaiming your power. It's about disentangling your sense of self from the person or situation that is no longer serving you. This doesn't mean that you stop caring about the other person. It doesn't mean you stop wishing them well. It simply means that you stop relying on them for your sense of happiness, fulfillment, or self-worth. You are whole as you are, without anyone else defining you. This process of disentangling yourself from unhealthy attachments also involves shifting your mindset. It's about shifting from a place of, I need this person or this situation to feel complete, to, I am complete as I am. The more you realize your own worth and begin to cultivate self-love, the less dependent you will be on the validation or approval of others. This is where true healing begins, when you can stand on your own 2 feet, knowing that you don't need anyone to complete you because you are already whole. In the journey of forgiveness and letting go, there is also the practice of cultivating gratitude. It may seem counterintuitive to feel grateful for a painful experience, but when you start to look at the lessons, the growth, and the strength that you've gained through adversity, you begin to shift your perspective. Gratitude doesn't diminish the pain you've felt, but it helps you see the bigger picture, the resilience you've built, the wisdom you've gained, and the capacity for love and connection that has only grown stronger as a result of what you've been through. Gratitude helps you shift from a mindset of scarcity and loss to a mindset of abundance and possibility. It allows you to recognize the beauty that still exists in your life, even after heartbreak. It helps you move from a place of victimhood to empowerment. And the more you practice gratitude, the more you create space for joy, peace, and healing to flow into your life. Another important aspect of this process is to stop blaming yourself. In toxic relationships, it's easy to fall into a trap of self-blame. You start to wonder, what did I do wrong? Why didn't I see the red flags? Why did I stay for so long? But it's crucial to recognize that blame only keeps you stuck. It doesn't allow you to move forward. Everyone makes mistakes, and everyone has moments where they don't see things clearly. Forgiveness means releasing the blame and understanding that you were doing the best you could with the knowledge and circumstances you had at the time. When you forgive yourself, you stop punishing yourself for past decisions. You give yourself the freedom to grow, to learn, and to evolve. You give yourself permission to be human. Just as you would forgive a friend who made a mistake, you need to show yourself the same compassion. You are worthy of that forgiveness, and you deserve to heal. As you continue this journey of letting go, it's essential to also focus on rebuilding your sense of self. When we are in toxic relationships, it's easy to lose sight of who we are. We can get so wrapped up in the other person's needs, desires, and issues that we forget to nurture ourselves. But moving forward means returning to your center, to the essence of who you are, and rediscovering the things that bring you joy, peace, and fulfillment. Take time to reconnect with your passions, your interests, and your hobbies. Engage in activities that nourish your soul and bring you happiness, whether it's exploring creative outlets, spending time in nature, practicing yoga or meditation, or simply being present with yourself. These practices help you reconnect with your authentic self and rebuild the foundation of your life. Forgiveness and letting go are not just about releasing the past. They are about creating space for something better to enter your life. When you clear out the emotional clutter of old wounds, old attachments, and old narratives, you make room for new experiences, new relationships, and new opportunities. It's important to remember that you are not defined by the relationships you've had or the pain you've experienced. You are defined by how you choose to move forward, by the strength you cultivate, and by the love you have for yourself. The future is full of endless possibilities, and you have the power to create a life that aligns with your true desires, your values, and your purpose. Letting go is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of profound strength. It's an act of self-love, an act of reclaiming your life and your power. You don't need to hold on to the past to move forward into your future. And when you forgive, both yourself and others, you unlock a sense of freedom that allows you to truly live in the present, open to all the beauty and love that the world has to offer. As we dive deeper into this transformative process of forgiveness, letting go, and moving forward, it's important to understand that the journey is a continuous unfolding. There may be moments where you feel as though you've let go completely, and then a small trigger happens, a song, a place, a memory, and suddenly you're back in the emotion. But this is not failure. This is part of the process. Healing is layered, and it's okay to revisit old feelings. Each time you encounter these emotions, you have the opportunity to release them with more clarity and understanding. It's helpful to embrace these moments of pain as part of the cycle of healing. Rather than resisting them or feeling defeated, acknowledge them and remind yourself that they are not who you are. You are not your pain, nor are you defined by your past experiences. You are a person capable of growth, capable of transformation. Every time you face a painful memory, you are not only letting go of the past, but also learning to process emotions in a healthier way. In this way, the emotional triggers can be seen not as setbacks, but as opportunities for deeper healing. One thing that often arises when we talk about forgiveness is the idea of justice. We may wonder, why should I forgive someone who hurt me so badly? Don't they deserve to suffer? It's completely natural to feel anger, resentment, or even a desire for revenge when someone has wronged us. But here's where forgiveness becomes even more powerful. Forgiveness is not about excusing someone's behavior, nor is it about making them feel better. It's about liberating yourself. Holding on to anger, resentment, or bitterness does not punish the other person. It only keeps you stuck in a cycle of pain. When you forgive, you release the control that the person's actions have over you. You stop letting their hurtful behavior dictate your emotional state. You give yourself the gift of peace, which is more valuable than any form of justice or revenge. It's also important to understand that forgiveness does not mean you have to remain in a relationship with the person who hurt you. In fact, sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is to walk away from a toxic relationship altogether. Forgiveness is about clearing the emotional baggage, not about reopening old wounds. It's about finding freedom in your own heart, regardless of the other person's actions. In this journey of moving on, there's also the reality of boundaries. As you let go of old attachments, you begin to create space for healthier relationships. One of the most important aspects of moving forward is learning how to set healthy boundaries. Boundaries protect your emotional, mental, and physical well-being. They allow you to protect your energy and teach others how to treat you. Boundaries may look different depending on the relationship. It could be a matter of limiting contact with someone who is toxic, or it could mean creating emotional space from someone who doesn't respect your needs. Setting boundaries is not about being mean or punishing others. It's about ensuring that you protect yourself from being hurt again. When you begin to set boundaries, you may face resistance. People who have been accustomed to you accepting unhealthy behaviors may push back against these new limits. But don't be afraid. Stand firm in your decisions. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual respect, and setting boundaries teaches others how to show up in a way that honors your well-being. As you let go and move on, remember that there is no right timeline for healing. Everyone heals in their own time, and it's important not to compare your journey to others. Healing is a personal and unique experience. What works for one person may not work for another. Some days will be easier, and some will be harder. But with each passing day, you are getting closer to a place of peace. You are reclaiming your joy, your self-worth, and your sense of freedom. And as you journey forward, always remember that you are deserving of love. The healing process can often make us question our worth. We may wonder if we will ever find love again, or if we are worthy of the love we desire. But the truth is that you are worthy of all the love the universe has to offer. You are deserving of a love that is kind, healthy, respectful, and nurturing. As you heal from the past and let go of toxic relationships, you are making room for new, more fulfilling connections. You are all learning how to love yourself in a way that attracts the right people into your life. When you forgive and let go, you free yourself from the chains of the past and open your heart to the love and joy that await you in the future. Trust that as you forgive, as you move on, and as you let go, you are creating the space for your best self to emerge. You are evolving, you are growing, and you are becoming the person you were always meant to be, stronger, wiser, and more compassionate than ever before. The process of forgiving and moving on is not just about releasing the past, it's about embracing your future with open arms. It's about realizing that your past doesn't define you, but rather the choices you make today and the love you cultivate within yourself will shape your tomorrow. The journey may not always be easy, but it is always worth it. You are worthy of the life that lies ahead of you, a life filled with peace, love, and endless possibilities. Embrace it. As you move forward in the healing process, it's essential to recognize that forgiveness is not an event, it's a practice. It's a daily decision to let go of the hurt, to not allow it to control your emotions, your thoughts, or your actions. Each day, you have the power to choose how you respond to the past. And with each choice, you create new pathways in your mind that lead you further away from the pain and closer to peace. Sometimes, it might feel like you're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. You might forgive in one moment and feel the weight of the past in the next. This is completely normal. Healing is not about perfection. It's about progress. Every time you catch yourself holding on to the past, you have the opportunity to release it once again with more clarity and understanding. It's also crucial to practice self-compassion during this journey. You may experience moments of doubt, or you may find yourself revisiting old feelings of guilt or shame. But you are human, and it's okay to feel these things. What matters is that you don't let them define you or dictate your path forward. Be kind to yourself. Speak to yourself with the same love and understanding that you would offer to a dear friend who is struggling. Another significant aspect of moving on is learning how to live for yourself again. In toxic relationships, we often lose touch with who we are. We become so focused on the other person's needs, their actions, and their emotions that we forget to take care of our own. The process of moving on is about reclaiming your sense of self. It's about rediscovering what brings you joy, what lights you up, and what makes you feel whole. Take time to explore your passions, your interests, and your desires. Start doing the things that nourish your soul. Whether it's taking up a new hobby, revisiting old ones, or simply spending time alone in nature, make time for activities that fill you with a sense of peace and fulfillment. As you reconnect with yourself, you'll gradually begin to understand who you truly are, apart from the relationship, and you'll realize just how strong and resilient you are. Part of moving on involves finding peace with the choices you've made in the past. Sometimes, we carry the weight of guilt or regret, wondering if we could have done things differently. But the truth is that you made the best decisions you could at the time, given what you knew and the circumstances you were in. Holding on to regret only keeps you anchored in the past. It prevents you from embracing the lessons and growth that are waiting for you in the present and future. Let go of the need to have all the answers, to know why things happened the way they did, or to have a complete closure. Closure is an illusion. Sometimes you may never get the full explanation, and that's okay. What matters is that you've learned, you've grown, and you are now ready to move forward. The future holds endless possibilities, and the lessons from your past are the stepping stones to a more fulfilling life. Remember that moving on doesn't mean you have to forget. It's not about erasing the past or pretending it didn't happen. The past is part of who you are, and it has shaped you into the person you've become. Moving on is about accepting the past for what it was, acknowledging the pain, and then choosing to live in a way that honors the lessons it taught you. You can take the wisdom from your past relationships and use it to create healthier, more loving connections moving forward. You don't need to carry the baggage of previous experiences into future relationships. Let go of the fear, the distrust, and the expectations that were built from past wounds. Open your heart to new possibilities without letting the shadows of the past cloud your vision. In the process of healing and letting go, you are also preparing yourself to welcome new experiences, new love, and new opportunities into your life. Trust that the universe has a way of bringing people, situations, and experiences into your life when you're ready for them. You don't need to rush. Take your time. Focus on your healing. The right people and opportunities will come when you are in a place of peace and wholeness. One of the most empowering things you can do as you let go and move on is to stop looking for validation from others. When we've been in toxic relationships, we often seek approval or reassurance from the other person because we've been conditioned to believe that our worth is tied to their perception of us. But your worth is not determined by anyone else. You are valuable, deserving of love and respect, simply because you exist. Start giving yourself the validation you've been seeking. Speak kindly to yourself. Acknowledge your strengths, your resilience, and your ability to heal. You are your own best advocate, and by honoring yourself, you begin to rebuild the self-esteem that may have been damaged in the past. Lastly, remember that the journey of moving on and letting go is not linear. There will be days when you feel like you've taken giant strides forward, and other days when it feels like you've regressed. Both are part of the process. Growth doesn't happen in a straight line. It happens in waves, and sometimes you need to ebb before you can flow again. But trust that every step you take is leading you to a place of freedom, peace, and self-love. You are capable of creating a beautiful future for yourself, The power is in your hands. Keep moving forward with grace, trust the process, and always remember that you are worthy of all the love, joy, and happiness that life has to offer. As you continue to heal, it's important to recognize that forgiveness is not just for the other person, it's primarily for you. Holding on to resentment, anger, or bitterness only keeps you tethered to the past. You might think that by holding on to these feelings, you are somehow punishing the person who hurt you, but the truth is, it only serves to keep you in a state of suffering. By forgiving, you release the grip the past has on you, allowing yourself to move forward with greater peace and clarity. Forgiveness doesn't mean that you condone the actions of the other person, or that you erase the pain you've experienced. It simply means that you are choosing to no longer carry the weight of that pain with you. You are allowing yourself to breathe again, to live again, without the constant shadow of hurt hanging over you. In forgiving, you take your power back. You free yourself from the chains that have kept you bound to the past. It's also essential to give yourself the grace to heal at your own pace. Don't rush through the process. Healing isn't a race, and everyone's journey is unique. Some days may feel like you've taken huge steps forward, and other days may feel like you've stumbled. That's okay. It's all part of the journey. Every moment, every feeling, and every experience is a step toward reclaiming your peace and your strength. In the process of letting go, it can be helpful to seek out spaces that foster healing. This could be through meditation, journaling, therapy, or simply spending time with people who uplift and support you. Surround yourself with energy that encourages growth, self-compassion, and peace. Let these spaces become your sanctuary, where you can reflect, process, and release whatever no longer serves you. It's also crucial to acknowledge the role that self-love plays in moving on. Often, after a toxic relationship, we may question our worth or feel like we aren't deserving of love. But your worth is inherent. It is not tied to someone else's actions, nor should it be defined by past experiences. You are worthy of love, respect, kindness, and everything beautiful that life has to offer. Cultivate self-love by affirming your worth every day. Look in the mirror and remind yourself that you are enough, just as you are. As you move forward, be mindful of the boundaries you set for yourself and others. In the past, perhaps you didn't feel empowered to set clear boundaries, or maybe you allowed others to overstep them. But now, as you heal and grow, it's important to recognize that boundaries are not walls. They are bridges to healthier relationships. Setting boundaries is a way of honoring yourself, your needs, and your peace. It allows you to protect your emotional well-being while still offering love and compassion to those around you. You might also find that your perspective on love changes as you heal. The toxic patterns that once felt familiar may now feel foreign to you. As you heal, you'll start to recognize what healthy love truly looks like, how it feels, how it behaves, and how it supports both partners in their individual growth. Healthy love is not about perfection, but about mutual respect, trust, and the freedom to be your true self. It's about growth, support, and unconditional kindness. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself as you heal is patience. Be patient with yourself as you let go of the past, as you learn to trust again, and as you rebuild your life. Healing takes time, and there will be moments when you feel like giving up. But remember that this journey is worth every step. Each day you move forward is a victory. Each time you choose peace over pain, you are creating a future that is filled with more love, light, and abundance. As you let go of the old, make space for new beginnings. You have the power to create the life you desire. You are the architect of your future, and it's never too late to begin again. Whether it's in love, career, or personal growth, your new chapter is waiting to be written. And in that chapter, there is room for joy, peace, and fulfillment. You have everything you need within you to create a life that reflects the strength, resilience, and beauty that you possess. Moving on from toxic love is not about erasing the past or pretending it didn't happen. It's about acknowledging the lessons, honoring the journey, and choosing to live fully in the present. It's about stepping into your power, reclaiming your worth, and opening yourself up to the love and opportunities that await you. You deserve to experience love in its purest form. Love that supports, nurtures, and uplifts. And the more you heal, the more you will be able to give and receive love in its healthiest, most vibrant form. So take a deep breath, trust in the process, and know that you are exactly where you need to be. Your healing is unfolding, and with every step you take, you are moving closer to the love and peace that you deserve. As you continue this journey of healing and self-discovery, you may find yourself confronted with moments of doubt. The past might try to rear its head, bringing up old wounds, and at times it may feel like the road to forgiveness is long and arduous. But remember that healing is not a straight path. It's full of twists, turns, and sometimes setbacks. It's a path that asks you to be kind to yourself when you stumble and to embrace your progress, no matter how small it may seem. There will be moments when you find yourself grieving again, even after you thought you had moved on. This is not a sign of failure, but a reminder that healing is layered. Sometimes, the heart needs to grieve not just the loss of a person, but the loss of dreams, hopes, and the person you once were within that relationship. Let yourself feel without judgment, because it's in these moments of vulnerability that the deepest healing can occur. Each wave of grief is another step toward complete emotional freedom. When we let go of toxic love, we must also make space for the new experiences, the new love, and the new growth that we've been longing for. Sometimes we cling to the past because we don't know what life will be like without it. But life, when unburdened, becomes a world of infinite possibilities. It's like clearing a garden of weeds to make room for fresh flowers to bloom. As you shed the layers of pain and past trauma, you'll begin to see the beauty in life again. You'll start to recognize the small joys and appreciate the quiet moments that once might have been overshadowed by the weight of the past. There is immense power in shedding old beliefs and narratives. In toxic relationships, we may have adopted limiting beliefs about ourselves, believing we weren't worthy of more or that we couldn't experience a love that was healthy and fulfilling. But now, with every step forward, you are rewriting those beliefs. You are reminding yourself of your inherent worthiness, your strength, and your right to live a life full of love that supports your growth. As you let go of toxic love, you start to embrace a love that nourishes your soul. Forgiveness, too, becomes an act of self-love. It may be difficult to forgive those who have hurt you, but it's crucial to remember that forgiveness is not an endorsement of their behavior. Instead, it's a release of the grip that the past has on your future. It's saying that the actions of others no longer define who you are or dictate your happiness. When you forgive, you stop being tied to that past, and you start reclaiming your emotional freedom. You are no longer bound to someone else's actions, but free to make choices that align with your peace and joy. Another powerful shift that occurs as you heal is the transformation in how you see and experience your own emotions. In toxic relationships, we may have learned to suppress our feelings, to deny our emotional needs, or to bottle up our true selves. But now, in this space of healing, you have the opportunity to embrace all parts of yourself, the light and the dark, the joyful and the sad. You no longer have to hide or shrink to fit someone else's idea of who you should be. You are learning to accept your emotions as valid, recognizing that each feeling is a message guiding you toward a deeper understanding of yourself. As you move forward, you'll also begin to see that your capacity for love grows. The more you heal, the more you can offer love in its purest, most unconditional form. And this love isn't limited to romantic relationships. It extends to the love you give yourself, the love you share with family and friends, and even the love you extend to the world around you. This love is grounded in respect, kindness, and understanding. It's a love that doesn't demand, but instead encourages growth, mutual respect, and shared joy. It's the love that comes from a place of deep healing and self-awareness. One of the most beautiful things that happens as you let go of toxic love is that you start to experience life through a clearer lens. No longer weighed down by past hurts or fears of what might happen, you begin to see the beauty in everyday moments. You find joy in the simple things. A conversation with a friend, a quiet morning alone, the laughter of children in the distance. These moments are no longer overshadowed by past pain, and you begin to realize that life has so much to offer when you're open to receiving it. The more you heal, the more you discover how capable you are of rebuilding your life in a way that is aligned with your truest desires. No longer are you defined by the relationships of the past, but instead, you are creating new connections, new experiences, and new opportunities that reflect your newfound wisdom and strength. You are becoming the person you were always meant to be, and this version of you is not limited by past pain, but empowered by it. The beauty of letting go is that it allows you to be fully present in your life, to show up as your authentic self, and to embrace the love that is waiting for you. It may not come in the form you expected, but it will come. Love in its most genuine, healthy form will appear when you're ready to receive it, and it will be far more fulfilling than anything you could have imagined when you were still holding on to the toxic love that once kept you trapped. As you continue on your journey of healing, remember that it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Every step you take is a step toward a brighter, more peaceful future. And while the road may not always be smooth, Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow stronger, to discover more about yourself, and to step even further into your personal power. You have everything within you to create the life and love you deserve. Keep moving forward, trusting in your journey, and knowing that you are worthy of the peace, happiness, and love that awaits you. Your healing is a beautiful transformation, and with each day, you are becoming more aligned with the love, joy, and fulfillment that are your birthright. Let go, forgive, and move on, knowing that the best is yet to come. You are not alone, and your heart is capable of more love and happiness than you've ever imagined. Healing and forgiving after experiencing bad love is one of the most powerful and transformative journeys you can take. The process is long and often filled with moments of deep emotional struggle, but it's also a journey that leads to profound self-discovery, growth, and freedom. It requires you to confront not just the actions of others, but also the internal wounds that have been left behind, often in silence. When you've been in a toxic or bad love, there's more than just the breakup to heal from. The emotional scars run deeper than the surface-level pain of losing someone. There are betrayals, broken promises, and the shattered pieces of trust that were once so carefully built. There's the fear of being abandoned again, and the doubt that creeps into your mind, questioning your worthiness of love. These aren't just minor emotional bruises. They are deep-rooted wounds that affect your sense of self and your ability to trust again. Healing from bad love requires you to go inward and truly examine the layers of hurt that you've accumulated. It demands that you take an honest look at the patterns that led you to that toxic relationship in the first place. Why did you allow yourself to stay? What did you believe about love, about yourself, that kept you tethered to a relationship that was ultimately damaging? These questions aren't meant to make you feel guilty or ashamed. They are meant to help you understand the lessons that have come from the experience. Every piece of that relationship, both the good and the bad, holds a lesson that can lead you toward healing and growth. Forgiveness is often the most difficult part of this process. It's hard to forgive someone who has hurt you deeply, especially when their actions have caused so much emotional pain. But forgiveness doesn't mean that you condone their behavior or that you forget what happened. It simply means that you are letting go of the hold that their actions have on you. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional prison that the past has locked you into. Holding on to anger, resentment, and pain only continues to tie you to the past, preventing you from moving forward. Forgiveness allows you to release that burden and create space for healing to take place. It's important to understand that forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself, not to the person who hurt you. When you forgive, you are freeing your heart from the weight of the hurt and anger that has been keeping you stuck. You are choosing to take back your power and not let someone else's actions define your peace. This act of forgiveness is not easy. It takes time, patience, and a willingness to let go of the need for revenge or justice. But over time, you'll begin to notice that the grip of the past loosens, and you start to feel lighter, more at ease. As you continue the healing process, it's essential to reconnect with yourself and rediscover the love that exists within you. Often, after experiencing toxic love, we lose touch with our own needs, desires, and boundaries. We may start to believe that we are unworthy of better love, that we are broken, or that we will never be able to trust again. But these beliefs are not the truth. The truth is that you are whole, you are deserving of love, and your heart is resilient. Healing is about rediscovering who you are outside of the toxic relationship. It's about reconnecting with your passions, your strengths, and your sense of self-worth. Take a time to explore the things that make you happy, the activities that bring you peace, and the qualities that you admire in yourself. It's through this process of self-reflection and self-care that you begin to rebuild your emotional strength. It's also important to give yourself permission to feel whatever emotions arise during this time. Healing doesn't mean that you will never feel sadness, anger, or fear again. It simply means that you are learning how to process these emotions in a healthy way. It's okay to grieve the loss of the relationship, even if it was toxic. You may mourn the potential that was never realized, or the dreams that you once shared. It's okay to feel pain, but just remember that this pain is temporary and it will eventually pass. One of the most beautiful parts of the healing process is the moment when you start to feel like yourself again. As you forgive, let go, and heal, you'll begin to notice that your heart is opening up again. You'll begin to experience moments of joy, peace, and clarity that you haven't felt in a long time. You'll start to see the world through a new lens, one that is no longer clouded by the trauma of the past. This new perspective allows you to move forward with a sense of renewed hope and possibility. You'll begin to realize that the love you once sought outside of yourself was always meant to come from within. Healing from bad love is also about reclaiming your voice. In toxic relationships, our voices often get silenced. We may feel like our needs and feelings don't matter, or we may have been told that we are too emotional, too demanding, or too needy. But as you heal, you will start to rediscover the power of your voice. You will learn how to express your needs, set boundaries, and communicate openly and honestly with others. Your voice becomes a tool of empowerment, a way to protect yourself and ensure that you never settle for less than you deserve. You also begin to understand that healing is not a linear process. There may be days when you feel like you're moving forward, and then suddenly you're thrown back into feelings of hurt and sadness. This is normal. Healing takes time, and it's okay to have setbacks along the way. What's important is that you continue to move forward, even when it feels difficult. Every small step you take is a victory. Finally, as you heal, you'll start to realize that forgiveness isn't just for the other person. It's for you. It's for your peace, for your happiness, and for your ability to move forward with a heart full of love and possibility. Letting go of the past allows you to create space for something new, something more aligned with who you are and what you truly deserve. And as you forgive, you'll find that love, real, healthy love, becomes possible again. It may not happen immediately, but as you heal, you'll begin to attract love that is nurturing, supportive, and full of respect. Healing from bad love is a journey that requires patience, self-compassion, and courage. But it's also a journey that leads to a deeper understanding of who you are, what you deserve, and the love that awaits you. You are worthy of a love that nurtures, uplifts, and respects you. And with time, healing, and forgiveness, you will find that love again. Not just with another person, but with yourself first. As you continue on this healing journey, it's important to recognize that healing is a continuous process. It isn't something that happens overnight, and there may be moments when you feel like you're stuck or taking steps backward. This is natural. Healing is not about perfection or rushing through it to reach the end. It's about progress, no matter how slow, and finding a peace along the way. You may even encounter moments when the pain resurfaces, and it feels like a storm has come back to shake you. But these moments are part of the ebb and flow of healing, and they don't define your journey. They are opportunities for deeper growth, for understanding what you still need to release, and for reinforcing your strength. Through this process, you'll also learn to become more mindfully of your emotional well-being. One of the most significant lessons that toxic love teaches us is the importance of self-awareness. We often lose ourselves in relationships, allowing another person's behavior to shape our mood, self-worth, and perceptions. But healing means reclaiming your emotional autonomy. It means becoming conscious of your feelings, acknowledging them without judgment, and processing them in a way that supports your growth. Emotional intelligence becomes a key tool for recognizing triggers, understanding your needs, and learning how to navigate the complexities of emotions with compassion toward yourself. As you release the grip of past pain and heartbreak, you will also begin to see the signs of your inner transformation. The wounds that once felt insurmountable will start to fade into scars, reminders of your resilience, not your weakness. You will recognize that you are not defined by your past relationships, but by how you rise from them. Those scars will no longer carry shame or sorrow. They will become symbols of your strength, wisdom, and ability to move forward. With time, as you heal, you may find that your outlook on love evolves. You begin to understand that love isn't about perfection. It isn't about someone coming into your life to fix you, nor is it about rescuing someone else. Love, in its healthiest form, is a partnership where both people bring their whole healed selves to the relationship. It's about mutual respect, understanding, and growth. It's about two individuals who continue to nurture their own self-worth while also supporting and uplifting each other. In this space, love becomes a sanctuary, not a battlefield. Healing also means learning to trust yourself again. When toxic love has left you questioning your judgment and your worth, regaining trust in yourself becomes paramount. You begin to rediscover your intuition, your ability to make decisions that serve your highest good, and your capacity to recognize red flags before they evolve into harmful situations. Trusting yourself is the first step toward creating relationships that are healthy, empowering, and fulfilling. You will no longer settle for less than you deserve because you will understand your own value. You'll be able to see your needs, desires, and boundaries clearly, and communicate them without fear or shame. As you forgive, let go, and heal, you'll also learn to release the need for control. When we've been hurt by love, We sometimes become obsessed with trying to control our future relationships, our feelings, or even the healing process. But true healing comes when we allow ourselves to flow with the natural course of life. It's about trusting the process, trusting that everything is unfolding in divine timing, and knowing that your journey is exactly as it needs to be. You no longer need to control everything around you. Instead, you let go and allow life to surprise you in beautiful, unexpected ways. Part of the healing journey is also about forgiveness for yourself. In toxic love, we can be our harshest critics. We blame ourselves for staying too long, for allowing mistreatment, for not speaking up sooner. But it's essential to show yourself the same compassion and kindness that you would offer a friend. You were doing the best you could with the knowledge and awareness you had at the time. It's important to let go of any guilt, regret, or shame, because they do not serve you. You were not responsible for someone else's behavior, but you are responsible for your own healing. And by choosing to heal, you are giving yourself the grace and love that you deserve. Through forgiveness and healing, you start to reawaken your soul's desire for love. Genuine love, the kind that doesn't come with manipulation, control, or emotional wounds. As your heart opens up, you'll find that you are attracting people who are aligned with your energy, people who respect you, love you, and honor your boundaries. These relationships will be built on a foundation of trust, equality, and mutual support. You will be able to offer love from a place of abundance rather than from a place of scarcity or fear. As you look ahead, know that your past doesn't define your future. The love you experienced in the past, no matter how painful, is simply part of your story. It is a chapter that has come to a close, and as you heal, you create space for new chapters to unfold. These chapters will be filled with self-love, healthy relationships, and the kind of love that heals, uplifts, and nourishes both you and the people you choose to share it with. Remember, healing is not a race. It is a journey, one that will ebb and flow with moments of clarity and moments of challenge. But each step you take forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to the freedom that comes with letting go of the past. So be patient with yourself and know that in time, the pain of the past will transform into the wisdom of your future. Forgiveness, letting go, and healing are acts of radical self-love. You are worthy of love that is whole, kind, and peaceful. And as you continue to forgive, let go, and heal, you will invite this kind of love into your life. Keep moving forward with an open heart, knowing that every step you take brings you closer to the love you've always deserved. As you move deeper into this process, it's important to realize that letting go of past pain and forgiving doesn't mean you forget. Forgiveness isn't about erasing the memories or pretending the hurt didn't happen. Instead, it's about freeing yourself from the emotional burden that those memories carry. It's about refusing to let them define you, your worth, or your future. Each time you forgive, you are taking away the power that the past has over you. The weight of that emotional load begins to lift, and you can feel a sense of lightness that you may not have known for a long time. Forgiveness is an act of liberation. It's like releasing the chains that have kept you bound to someone's behavior or treatment. Those chains are heavy, often invisible, and can have a deep effect on your sense of self. When you forgive, you're not giving someone else a free pass to hurt you again. Instead, you are telling yourself that you no longer need to carry the emotional cost of their actions. It's saying, I am ready to move forward. Not because what happened is okay, but because I deserve peace and freedom. One of the most powerful aspects of forgiveness is its ability to transform the way you view yourself. In toxic love, we often internalize the negative behaviors of others. We may begin to think that we somehow deserved the hurt, that we weren't enough, or that we are unworthy of a healthy relationship. Forgiveness offers you the chance to rebuild your self-worth. It allows you to step into a space where you no longer define yourself by what someone else did to you. Instead, you begin to define yourself by your strength, your resilience, and your commitment to healing. Forgiveness is an affirmation of your own power. The process of letting go also means accepting that you cannot change the past. You may want to revisit certain moments, rehash conversations, or rewrite history in your mind. But, at some point, you must acknowledge that the past is done. There is no rewinding time, no going back to try to fix what was broken. What you can do, however, is choose how you respond to the present and future. Letting go means taking control of your own story, not as a victim of past love, but as the empowered author of your next chapter. This doesn't mean that there won't be triggers. As you move forward, there may be moments when you are reminded of your past, times when a memory or a particular experience brings back the feelings you've been working so hard to release. These moments don't mean that you haven't healed or that you haven't forgiven. They simply mean that you are human, and healing is a process with waves and rhythms. When you face these triggers, don't beat yourself up for feeling the pain again. Instead, recognize the trigger for what it is: a reminder of your growth, a reminder of your strength in overcoming this emotion, and an opportunity for you to reaffirm your commitment to healing. It's also important to realize that the process of letting go and forgiving doesn't mean you have to immediately jump into new relationships. In fact, sometimes the best way to heal is to take a step back and focus solely on yourself. Healing requires time, space, and patience. You may need to rediscover your passions, nurture your friendships, and reconnect with the parts of yourself that were lost in the chaos of toxic love. This is not about isolation, but rather about restoring balance. It's about learning how to love yourself fully before you open yourself up to someone else. Learning to forgive and move on also invites you to reflect on what you need in future relationships. Often, toxic love leaves us with a distorted view of what a healthy relationship should look like. It's easy to fall into patterns of toxic behavior, believing that love always has to come with drama, uncertainty, or pain. But true love, healthy love, is nothing like that. It's calm, stable, and nourishing. It's about mutual respect, understanding, trust, and empathy. As you forgive and heal, you start to recalibrate your understanding of love. You begin to identify the qualities that you truly need in a partner and you learn to set healthy boundaries that protect your emotional and mental well-being. When you are finally able to move on, you do so with a renewed sense of clarity. You see the world through a lens that's no longer clouded by past pain. You recognize your worth more clearly. You embrace your ability to create healthy relationships that reflect your self-respect and love. And, most importantly, you begin to understand that you deserve a love that is pure, kind, and uplifting. You deserve someone who cherishes you, who values you, and who supports your growth just as you support theirs. Forgiveness doesn't just open the door to new relationships, it opens the door to a new way of being. It's not just about moving on from toxic love, it's about transforming your whole relationship with yourself. It's about recognizing that you are deserving of every kind of joy and fulfillment that life has to offer. Through forgiveness and letting go, you take back your power and you embrace the infinite possibilities that come with a healed heart and an open mind. As you continue your journey, be gentle with yourself. Recognize that healing takes time, and that each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Celebrate the moments when you feel free, when you no longer feel the weight of past pain on your shoulders. You have done the hard work, and now you are reaping the rewards of your resilience and inner strength. Your story is one of empowerment, and it is far from over. It is just beginning. So, with every breath you take, with every moment you release the past, you are making space for a future that is filled with love. Love that is kind, true, and full of healing. Keep moving forward, knowing that you have the ability to forgive, let go, and move on. Your heart is open, and it is ready to experience the beauty and peace that comes with loving and living freely. As you continue this journey of forgiveness and healing, it's important to remember that this process isn't linear. There may be days when it feels like you've taken 2 steps forward only to take 1 step back. And that's okay. Healing isn't something that happens all at once or in a straight line. It's a rhythm, a flow, a dance between progress and setbacks. And each setback is simply another opportunity for growth. Sometimes forgiveness may feel impossible. The pain of the past may seem overwhelming, and it may feel like there's no way to move past the wounds inflicted by toxic love. But even in those moments of doubt, it's essential to remind yourself that forgiveness is a choice. It's a choice to release the past and choose peace over pain, to let go of the need for justice, and to surrender the weight of resentment. Forgiveness doesn't come from a place of weakness, it comes from a place of strength. It's an act of empowerment, where you decide that you will no longer let the actions of someone else control your emotional state or determine your future. Forgiveness also means learning to forgive yourself. Often, after being involved in toxic love, we become our own harshest critics. We blame ourselves for staying too long, for ignoring red flags, or for allowing ourselves to be hurt. We may feel as though we should have known better, or that we should have acted differently. But it's important to understand that you did the best you could with the knowledge and awareness you had at the time. No one enters a relationship expecting it to become toxic. You weren't weak for loving, and you weren't foolish for hoping. What happened in the past doesn't define your worth or your ability to create healthy love moving forward. You are allowed to make mistakes, to learn, and to grow. So, part of the healing process is forgiving yourself for being human. Letting go of toxic love also means setting boundaries. Boundaries that protect your emotional, mental, and physical well-being. This can be one of the most challenging aspects of healing because it requires you to say no to the things, people, or situations that drain your energy. Setting boundaries is an act of self-care. It's a declaration that you deserve to be treated with respect, kindness, and understanding. And it's important to recognize that boundaries are not just about keeping others at a distance. They're about ensuring that you have the space and the environment needed to nurture your own growth and healing. As you continue to forgive, move on, and let go, you may begin to notice changes within yourself. There's a sense of calm that replaces the chaos. You may find yourself more grounded, more centered, and more connected to your inner peace. You might start to feel a sense of clarity that you haven't had in a long time. With each release of pain, you are creating space for new experiences, new opportunities, and new people to enter your life. This new energy will open the door to healthier relationships, not just with others, but with yourself as well. Letting go doesn't mean you are denying the significance of the past. It doesn't mean you erase the memories or the lessons you learned from toxic love. It means you are choosing to release the negative emotions attached to them. You are choosing to let go of the bitterness, the anger, the sorrow, and the shame. In doing so, you create room for new emotions to flourish: gratitude, peace, acceptance, and love. You may find that as you forgive, you start to reconnect with the people who truly care about you. You may notice that the relationships in your life become more genuine and fulfilling. Forgiveness frees you not only from the past, but also from the fear that the same toxic patterns will repeat themselves. As you heal, you begin to understand what a healthy relationship looks like. You start to recognize the signs of toxicity, and you are no longer afraid to walk away from it. You know now that you are worthy of love that is nurturing, kind, and reciprocal. And as you continue to let go, you'll notice that the patterns of the past no longer have control over you. The memories of toxic love may surface occasionally, but they no longer hold the same weight. They no longer define your present or dictate your future. You have learned the art of self-compassion, and you've given yourself permission to move forward with peace and strength. Your ability to forgive and move on is a reflection of your resilience. It shows that no matter how deep the wounds were, you have the power to heal. It shows that you can transform pain into strength, heartbreak into wisdom, and loss into opportunity. It's a testament to your courage, your self-love, and your commitment to living a life that is free from the chains of toxic love. In this space of healing, you are free to rewrite your story. You can create a future filled with healthy love, strong connections, and a deep sense of self-respect. You no longer need to live in the shadow of the past. You no longer need to carry the weight of someone else's actions. You are free to be the person you were always meant to be: strong, loving, worthy, and at peace with yourself. And remember, the journey doesn't end here. Every day is an opportunity to practice forgiveness, to reinforce your boundaries and to choose yourself first. Healing is a lifelong journey, and each step you take is a step toward greater joy, deeper love, and more profound peace. So, as you move forward, know that you are not alone. You are surrounded by love. Love for yourself, love from others, and love from the universe. Trust that the best is yet to come, and that with every breath you take, you are getting closer to the life you deserve. The power to heal is within you, and you are capable of creating the love and happiness you've always wanted. Keep going. Keep healing. Keep believing in yourself. You are worth it. Here are 10 rules for moving on. Rule number 1. Acknowledge your feelings. Allow yourself to feel all emotions, whether it's sadness, anger, or disappointment. Recognizing and accepting your emotions is the first step in healing. Rule number 2. Cut all contact. Distance yourself from the person, both physically and emotionally. This means no texting, no social media stalking, and no attempting to stay friends. Give yourself the space you need to heal. Rule number 3. Forgive yourself. Don't blame yourself for the situation. Forgive yourself for the mistakes you may have made and understand that you did the best you could at the time. Learn from the experience and release the guilt. Rule number 4. Set clear boundaries. Ensure that you set boundaries with others, especially when it comes to relationship and communication. Protect your peace by not allowing toxic behaviors to re-enter your life. Rule number 5. Let go of resentment. Forgiveness is for you, not the other person. Holding on to resentment keeps you tethered to the past and prevents you from moving forward. Release the negative emotions and focus on your own healing. Rule number 6. Focus on self-care. Take care of your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Engage in activities that nourish your soul, whether that's exercise, reading, meditation, or spending time with loved ones. Rule number 7. Create new memories. Start new experiences that help you form new, positive memories. Travel, try new hobbies, and meet new people. Fresh memories will help you move beyond the past. Rule number 8. Find a support system. Surround yourself with friends, family, or a therapist who understands your pain. They will help guide you through the healing process and remind you of your strength. Rule number 9. Be patient with yourself. Healing takes time. Don't rush the process or expect immediate results. Understand that some days will be harder than others, and that's okay. Give yourself grace and take it one day at a time. Rule number 10. Believe in the future. Know that moving on creates space for new opportunities and love. Trust that better days are ahead and that you are worthy of a healthy, fulfilling relationship. Conclusion. As we reach the end of this journey, remember that forgiveness, letting go, and moving on are not signs of weakness, but of strength. These are the steps toward reclaiming your peace and embracing a future full of possibility. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting, and letting go doesn't mean abandoning hope. It means freeing yourself from the chains that hold you back, so that you can move forward into a life filled with clarity, happiness, and genuine love. Moving on is not about erasing the past, but about learning from it, growing from it, and choosing to live for yourself without the weight of past hurt dragging you down. Your heart is deserving of peace, love, and joy, so don't deny it the chance to experience them. Healing may take time, and that's okay. Be patient with yourself, honor your journey, and trust that every step you take is a step closer to the life you deserve. Thank you for being here and allowing me to walk with you through this healing process. Remember, you are not alone. Take what you've learned today and begin living with a heart that is open, free, and ready for the beautiful life ahead.